we are going to play Tottenham's second choice right back, who sometimes plays left back, at a World Cup as our first choice right back. When we have Alexander-Arnold, who plays for Real Madrid, sitting at home.
Hello and welcome to the Backseat Manager podcast for people who think they know better but probably don't. We had a very special guest joining the show today, but unfortunately their agent said they couldn't take part, so Matt is here and he will do just fine. So Matt, how you been?
I missed the last one. Well, you chose someone else.
You did miss the last one. We have to rotate sometimes, but it's the fans wanted you back, so you're back in prime fashion.
By the fans, you mean you, and by wanting me here, you mean needed, because there's no one else.
Let's not get bogged down with who needed what. Either way, the second round of the World Cup has drawn to a close, and some of the nations we predicted to do well have continued to do so. Messi continues to increase his World Cup goal record, scoring twice to lead Argentina to beat Austria 2-0. To start with, we'll put the goals aside, and we'll talk about the misses. Messi stepped up to take a penalty for Argentina fairly soon after kickoff, approached the ball, completely missed with the stutter penalty. So far in the tournament, every stutter penalty has been missed. That we saw Kane try to do one for England, that was saved. They're just not going in. Has their time passed? Is it all gone? Is it all done? I mean, what do you think? Is the stutter penalty dead?
I think the stutter penalty, when first, not first, but when Jorginho came to the Premier League and started doing his little hop, that was the initial starting point of players in their run-up deviating their sort of, the pace they run up to the ball, the angle, everything like that. And it worked. You've seen it copied. Bruno Fernandes copied it. There's been a few others. A few others have put their own spin on it.
I was going to say, you've got the Paul Pogba version where he does a tiny little foot run up and that's it.
Paul Pogba was the complete opposite, where he was very, very slow, little steps, very consistent. Do you know the biggest problem with the stutter penalty is the fact that players who do stutter penalties carry on doing it when they miss. That's my biggest issue, and I'm sorry to mention this to you, but Ipiri Eze took... okay, he didn't miss one for QPR. He didn't miss one in his first year at Palace, but then he did miss one against Newcastle away. And from then on, I don't think he scored one with his stutter. That should be enough for a player to say, I don't think this works. I don't think this works. But they carry on doing it, and it should be realistically enough for other players to see players missing these kind of penalties and say, I'm not going to do it. Because if Harry Kane's stuttering and missing, then why would another player think, I can do that?
See, I understand the logic of, you train every week in, week out. You don't want to change the routine because that's kind of dialed in. And by having this dialed in routine, you're like, okay, I know what to do so that the pressure doesn't affect you in the moment. But when you start, the fact is, it's not just one player. Everyone is missing the stutter penalty. So clearly there is something fundamentally wrong with the way that's being taken for that to have the same effect across everyone. Because it's not just one player. It's not like Eze is the only one who's missed every single stutter penalty. Kane couldn't do it. If Messi can't do it, surely you've got to be looking at it being, maybe this is not for us.
I don't think it is. I think the most important part of the penalty is the connection you get on the ball. And the connection you get on the ball should be dictated beforehand by picking a spot and going for it. The thing with a stutter penalty is you look at the goalkeeper, usually, and you wait for their movement. But if the goalkeeper doesn't move, then in a very, very split-second time frame, you have to decide what spot you're going, you have to adjust your body, and you have to get the connection on the ball to get enough power that it goes away from the goalkeeper and into the corner you're aiming. It's very, very difficult to do that.
I saw Ben Foster, I think, was talking about Ivan Toney taking a penalty, and the fact that when he takes it, he waits so long to hit the ball that realistically the keeper has to dive, then he just puts it the other way. So there's other versions of a stutter penalty where you don't have the stutter right there in the same way. So maybe it's a timing thing. Maybe it's based on how the keepers react to the ball these days. But I'm not sure. Something's definitely broken with it, I think.
Well, even Ivan Toney's missed one.
Yeah.
Of his walking, looking at the goalkeeper.
It is a cool penalty though. The slow walk up to the ball and just slot it away when it works.
Yeah, when these work, they look cool. But I will say, when Jorginho was at his prime doing it for Chelsea, I used to get so annoyed at goalkeepers because I used to think all you need to do is stand still. All you need to do is stand still when he's jumping or doing his little hop. Stand still, because there's no way he can get enough power on it to put it into a corner at pace where you can't save it. Just stay still. And the very first goalkeeper to save a Jorginho penalty in England was Ederson, and he stood still. But Jorginho did his hop. He stood still. Jorginho looked at him, thought he hasn't moved. I don't know where to go, and he didn't put it in the corner. He put it in between the corner and the goalkeeper, and it was an easy save. And that's what happens. If you do a stutter, you are stuttering to make the goalkeeper do a little jink left or right to indicate where they're going to dive. But if a goalkeeper, and it's the same with Safanov in the Champions League final with Eze, he didn't move. He stood still. And Eze, in that split second, thought, well, I've got to pick a side, I've got to go there. And he, you give yourself less time to do the most difficult part, and he went miles left.
But I mean, it's also the Panenka has kind of disappeared as well. I mean, it's sort of there, but not really there. But I guess that's also a version of the stutter penalty, really, where you kind of, you wait for the keeper to do it, and then you just kind of dink it down the middle.
I'll be very honest, after Brahim Diaz in the AFCON final, I'll be very surprised to see any player doing a Panenka. I
think the Panenka has well and truly been killed off, unfortunately. I mean, what a way of doing it, but I mean, it is dead. No one's going to be brave enough to do it.
There'll be some player. Players would do their research on goalkeepers the same way goalkeepers do their research on players, and there are goalkeepers who go extremely early. I think David Raya is an example. Again, in that final, he went very early for a couple of those penalties. So if a goalkeeper goes early and
some keepers might lend themselves to being vulnerable to a Panenka or a stutter.
But I don't think there's much difference between a Panenka and just blasting it down the middle.
Yeah, true.
Because you're just relying on the goalkeeper moving.
I mean, that's what you can say for all these trick penalties, really, isn't it? That it's just relying on sending the keeper first.
I think the start ones are relying on that little jinky movement, making the goalkeeper go. I think with the Panenkas, you are waiting to see if the goalkeeper goes early. The ones you are trying to get the goalkeeper to move, and the other ones you're waiting for the goalkeeper to move. See if you can do it. Some players just do it. they just sort of hope.
I mean, speaking of players who just do it, I mean, in Argentina or Austria, there's a well-worked team effort setting up Messi's first goal, which took him over the line to surpass Miroslav Klose's previous record of 16 goals, which he had tied in his first World Cup fixture this time round. Argentina and Austria both having kind of a bit of beef on the pitch. Some would argue that there could have been a sending-off. Personally, I don't think there's much ground for anything like that in that game. I do think it was a much closer game than I had originally considered before kick-off. I thought kind of Austria were just going to get absolutely blown out of the water, and turns out actually it was fairly close. Granted, it was 2-0, but still, I thought it was fairly close. It could have gone either way. I really do think Austria could have got a couple of goals in there, but you sort of just knew Messi was going to score again. Like, it was just written, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he writes the script before the game, and everyone else is surprised at what he does. But I don't think Lionel Messi is particularly. You've seen it when he scored his second goal. He had a smile on his face, a sort of smile to say, I'm very happy to still be doing this at this age, but I'm not surprised. He looked like he was really enjoying it still.
I wonder if that's got any kind of not collaboration. What's the word I'm looking for? Kind of link between how he's performing and his success with Argentina. He just enjoys it. He knows it's not going to last forever. He's just having a good time, and the goals seem to just be flying in. I saw someone say that Messi has spent the last 2 years in the MLS purely to adapt to the climate and prepare for the World Cup. Don't know if there's any truth to that whatsoever, but I mean, it would be hilarious to discover that Messi's entire time at Inter Miami has purely been for the benefit of the Argentinian national team.
I think it probably you wouldn't be wrong if you said that. You're never going to get the proof, but when you think about it, that Lionel Messi, by going to the MLS, has probably prolonged his, I mean, they're not his peak years, but his very, very good years for another year or two. You know, if he was playing in Europe and being asked to, not that you would, but being asked to press, his legs would go a bit earlier. But he's gone to the MLS, the star man of a team, doesn't have to run, he's got players around him, and then plays in the stadiums and the climate. And it wouldn't surprise me if some part of the World Cup being in the US had something to do with him going to Miami. I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, I wouldn't confine his genius to just the football pitch.
I wouldn't put it past Infantino to be like, yeah, but we want Messi to win another one, so we're going to have it in the US. Like,
considering that was decided how many years before?
I know, but like considering
still Barcelona when it was decided.
Considering the corruption that is in there, I wouldn't be surprised if something was going down. Who knows, really? Who knows what?
It's a very smart decision that it's turned out to be, whether it was preempted or not.
The fact that he also plays with Argentinian teammate De Paul as well, Rodrigo De Paul, and they're both now playing like starters in the Argentinian team.
What a life Messi has had at Inter Miami. He's got to play with his best mates from Barcelona.
Yeah,
he's got to play with De Paul, who's his
I think it's his best
unofficial bodyguard.
I think it's his best friend, realistically, but unofficial bodyguard is accurate.
And he gets to play in the country that the World Cup's been held in the same climate. I mean, and he's not lost any of his I think his reputation has grown. You know, if my dad said to me the other day that he was never particularly completely convinced by Messi until the World Cup of last World Cup. And now this World Cup, he can't stop raving about him.
No, I don't think anyone can. I mean, even Ronaldo's taken note. You see, he scored a couple goals, and then he's there screaming, "I'm back!" And I think Zlatan was on the broadcast, and the first thing he said was, "You said that you never left. Why are you saying I'm back?"
Well, that's a man who can go ego for ego with Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, I think Zlatan's ego takes Cristiano's in the first round.
I think Zlatan could have the biggest ego on the planet.
I honestly don't think anyone remotely comes close. I think it's...
I mean, I've never seen anybody refer to himself as a lion. It's like, oh yeah, but it's what humans do. Yes, but I am a lion. I am not human.
I'm telling you, he's cut from a different cloth from the rest of us.
Yeah.
There's something going on in that brain that is just wild. But moving away from Argentina, we're going to talk about a small island nation that's got everyone raving, reevaluating their heritage. Cabo Verde performing yet another miracle to draw and keep their World Cup dreams alive, drawing 2-2 against Uruguay in a game where they initially were leading and genuinely could have gone all the way and taken the win in the final moments. I honestly don't think any nation is more exciting to watch than Cabo Verde right now in this World Cup. Like, their games are just pure excitement. Their first goal, an absolute belter of a free kick. I mean, Roberto Carlos would be proud. Just channeling his inner Roberto... I can't remember what the guy's name is, but channeling his inner Roberto Carlos to smack one into the bottom right. Smack is also a very strong word. It kind of dribbled in. But genuinely, what do you think of Cabo Verde's chances, Matt? Have you been enjoying watching them? Because honestly, I can't turn their games off.
Well, for a nation which I expected to lose 3 in a row, I can't wait for their next game.
I mean, they've only got Saudi Arabia left, and I mean, Curacao aren't looking like they're going to go through because they got beat 7-1 by Germany. So, I mean, realistically, Cabo Verde now that they've drawn to Spain and they've drawn to Uruguay, those are two very big sides. If they can get a draw or even a win against Saudi Arabia, that they'll go through. They'll go through in a third place finishing spot, or even second if they beat. There's a world where they can top their group, if they.
There is if Spain lose and Cabo Verde win.
Yeah, it's genuinely.
They top their group.
There's a genuine possibility and reality where Cabo Verde top their group and go through to the knockout stage in their first ever attempt at a World Cup, which would be unbelievable. I mean, I backed them against Saudi. I didn't back them against Spain or Uruguay, and they got 2 draws, but I backed them against Saudi now. I mean, it's all to play for. It's unreal. It's definitely the true underdog story of the World Cup this time, though, is Cabo Verde.
Yes.
I think everyone was like Curacao might be the one, but no. There's only one small island nation that I give shit about, and it is Cabo Verde. I don't know. It's gonna be exciting to see them play. But I mean, they've only got one fixture left. I'm so excited for it. Honestly, I'm so excited to see it happen.
Well, it would be a real shame if they draw against Spain and Uruguay, and then throw it away against probably the worst team in the group.
Well, yeah, considering they're supposed to be the worst team. It
would be a shame if they didn't win it. A draw could seem through, put them above Scotland.
Well, because of their head-to-head records, a draw does them quite nicely, does it not?
Well, yeah, because they'll be on 3 points. Well, they haven't won, so the head-to-head record doesn't.
It doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't really matter. But goal difference for the third place group, they would be in a pretty good place if they drew.
I mean, they're on net zero right now. They've not conceded. They've technically not conceded more than they've scored. So
they got neutral goal difference. Yeah. So if they draw, they go above. I think they go above 3 or 4 teams in the third place table. They would definitely go above Scotland.
Honestly,
they go above a couple more.
And
I could see them going through, but I would be great to see them win.
What, the whole tournament?
If they got, well,
oh no, against Saudi. You mean against Saudi? Okay.
I was being more realistic than the whole tournament. But yes, it would be nice to see them win against Saudi, and it would be then nice to see them beat Germany, Brazil, Argentina on their way to beating France in the final.
Yeah, you don't vision a Cabo Verde final where they beat Spain like 7-0 and just dominate the football world for the next 10 years. Every member of the starting 11 getting a Premier League signing just straight up.
I wouldn't even want them to dominate for the next couple of years. I want them to win this tournament and then just cease to exist as a nation.
Just dissolve into the abyss and never be heard of again.
Do you remember this? Do you remember this? It would be a great history fact in 100 years. This small island nation won the World Cup and then ceased to just exist. Just doesn't exist anymore.
Like 1 month post World Cup, it just stops. It just gets invaded by another country.
Yeah, it's a Dutch.
It's part of the Netherlands. I mean, I think only one member of their entire squad was born. Or was that Curacao?
That's Curacao. That's Tahith Chong from Curacao.
Never mind.
But it is also a Dutch thing, I think.
A former Dutch colony. I don't know, but it's going to be an incredible fixture. But speaking of incredible fixtures. And a nation that simply did not do anything spectacular whatsoever. Good old England against Ghana. Now, let's be honest. We've both watched some really, really, for want of a better word, fucking boring games of football in our lifetimes. Mm-hmm. But this one's got to be up there. 0-0, completely goalless, right? Ghana probably and possibly should have got a penalty. But honestly, the stat I want to talk about mostly here is that half-time, right, ITV or BBC or whatever it was on, comes up, they're talking in the studio, and it comes up on the screen, passing stats, right? It goes, Guehi, 68 passes completed. Ezri Konsa, 73 passes completed. The entire Ghanaian national team had 77 passes. So Ezri Konsa in the first half of the game made 3 fewer passes than their entire team, and we still couldn't do a fucking thing against them. Honestly, Ghana should have won. I think I saw Bellingham say afterwards, "Why did I get man of the match? One of them should have got it." Like we actually couldn't do anything. It was ridiculous.
Well, apart from the Nico O'Reilly header, which hit the bar, and then the subsequent rebound, which Harry Kane, under the spell of that witch doctor.
The witch doctor cursing us out.
Skied it. He was nice about it, that fellow. He said the curse is off him now, he's going to prosper.
It was just against Ghana, the curse, right? It was just against Ghana.
He said he's going to prosper for the rest of the tournament now. But, this is... like I said, I had my concerns with this England team beforehand. I think I used the phrase, one too many average players. And I think that's coming true in that game. I don't want to be negative, because everyone's negative when England lose, everyone switches up. But I do think that the fact that you played Jed Spence at left back, when first of all it's not his natural position. Number two, I don't think he should be there. Anthony Gordon, at least with Anthony Gordon, you've got Rashford who can come on. But I think in a lot of other positions, you swap average player for average player, and nothing really changes. And there was just a few performances, just a few. It's difficult against a team that plays like that. I think everyone knows. But, I watched Panama v Ghana, which I think rivals it for the most boring game of this World Cup. But this is how they're going to play. Everyone knew it. Tuchel knew it, the players knew it, and they didn't find a way to beat them. And ultimately, no matter how Ghana played, which was well for the plan that they went for, it's ultimately a failure on England's part to know exactly how a team is going to play and to not devise a plan to beat them. Because we did look at rather out of ideas a lot of the time.
Oh, we looked like we had no idea what we were doing. There was no game plan whatsoever.
We play it out to the right, but there weren't enough runners running the channels. And whenever, Gordon and Madueke did run at their fullbacks, they'd lose the ball or put a poor cross in. And the crosses in the first half were awful. And then the second half, they didn't get much better.
Honestly, it's just...
Substitutions as well, I think, were strange.
I think the timing of the subs was strange. To bring everyone on so late, I don't know.
It was late, and then they were all sort of together, and they were similar. He brought Rodgers and Eze on at the same time.
Yeah.
Who I think are pretty similar.
It's the same position. It's the same position. I don't know why
he played Eze in a. This could just be a whole podcast about Eze, but I don't like Eze receiving the ball deep. That's not his game. His game is he loses the ball, he takes players on. You need to play him further forward, but he brought them on deep to pick up the ball, and that's how they, realistically should have got the penalty, because Eze lost the ball, and they broke.
It definitely even the not commentators, even the pundits after the game was sat looking at the replay going, he doesn't even make contact with the ball. It actually is a penalty, which is the worst bit about it.
It's what I said first off. I said if this isn't offside, it's penalty. Because Concert's nowhere near the ball, and he's made contact with the man. I think it should be, because it wasn't a foul on Eze. He was onside. And he brought that. It's a penalty in my eyes.
No, it is genuinely a penalty. But it's genuinely Ghana realistically England have really gotten away lucky that we've even got a draw out of that game, which I think it goes to show you just how I don't want to say weak, but how fragile our World Cup chances really are. When we beat Croatia 4-2, and then you go and look at a 0-0 against Ghana, we've got Panama next. Realistically, if we don't score a gazillion goals against Panama, we'll just write the whole tournament off now. If Panama somehow beat us, right, we should just go home. We shouldn't, even though we'll probably qualify with 4 points. If Panama beat us, we should just be allowed. We should just get back on the plane and go home, lads. It's just not happening.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I think our World Cup hopes were sort of over after that first half against Croatia, where
we did nothing.
We weren't actually that good going forward. I don't think our play stretched them enough, apart from maybe Madueke was wide, but the defensive midfield did not look strong.
No, not at all.
And to me, when you look at, to be fair, when you do look at other teams, like France, for example, they don't look massively strong defensively midfield. They look like they could be breached and got at, but they've just got such a good attack that you expect them to get them out of trouble. England have a shaky defence, shaky midfield, and they don't have the attack to get them out of
those
tough
games
those
tight
where they
press.
need to score where they need to score 3 or 4 goals because they've conceded 3.
I mean, you're the one who said it like on the very first episode. England will lose. Whenever we do lose, we will lose, and it will be as a result of poor defence. And lo and behold, against Ghana, the one main takeaway from that is that our defence was incredibly poor, and that we found that when a team sits 11 players in their box, we don't know how to get a goal.
No, I mean, I'm keep hearing all this. Oh, he's trying to get us to play like a Premier League side, Tuchel. But
yeah, but there's a difference. There's a difference between playing like West Ham and playing like Man City. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of teams in the Premier League sit back, and a lot of teams in the Premier League struggle with teams who sit back. So we're basically playing a way in which our players do not like playing against. I mean, we're playing a way that, to make a game difficult, teams will sit back against Premier League teams. The good Premier League teams, the Arsenal, the Cities, and we're getting our players to play
like Spurs. Well, it's just not going to work.
Like that way, yeah. It's a strange one to me.
The two clips I've seen from this. Have you seen Tuchel screaming at Jed Spence on the sideline? It's just like Jed, quit talking, move up. I'm like, oh my god.
But I don't know what he's doing there, Jed Spence.
I don't know what he's doing. But the fact is, he started him, and then that's what I think that clip is within the first half. He's absolutely going ballistic on the sideline. I'm like, that must be a failure of tactics at that point.
The stupidest thing about it now is the fact that Reece James is now injured for the next couple of games.
Shock.
Which we all knew would happen. Tino Livramento's gone home.
Yeah.
And Thomas Tuchel decided to bring Trevor Chalobah.
Yeah, who is a centre back. He's not even a wing back.
When we have Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I mean, Trent is rubbish. He's
better than he is.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, when you are going to have teams sit back against you, which we all knew that Ghana would, Panama fully will.
Oh, Panama.
Panama
will play 11 keepers. There'll be 11 goalies.
Arnold is a player you want because of his delivery. But and it's like I said, it's the one thing I will very much publicly criticise Thomas Tuchel about, because we do not have enough the players to diversify our style of play.
No, we
have Jed Spence, who is a right back, who's right-footed, playing left back. We have Nico O'Reilly. Both those players come inside. They're not players to take a man on, whip a cross in, which is what you want against a team like Ghana. On the right, we have Reece James, who comes in, plays more as a midfielder, because if he plays as a traditional right back, his cartilage falls off the bone, and he's out for the tournament. And we just didn't bring Trent to stay wide, whip crosses in. And it's the one thing I really do not understand. We have too many average players, and we are going to replace them in this squad
with worse players.
Jed Spence is now going to play right back against Panama.
Yeah.
We are at a stage in this tournament where we are going to play Tottenham's second choice right back, who sometimes plays left back, at a World Cup as our first choice right back. When we have Alexander-Arnold, who plays for Real Madrid, sitting at home. We're now going to play. We play Jed Spence, Nico O'Reilly, who are both a similar style of play, on the left. Well, we have Lewis Hall sitting at home, who's had a good season. No, forget about Ben White. Forget about Ben.
Hey, look, Ben White would show up to the World Cup and play better than Jed Spence was.
Ben White would show up to the World Cup and then go home because he can't watch Love Island.
Probably, yeah.
He is, and I do not like Ben White.
I love Ben White, but he really is the best football player. Because you're an
Arsenal fan.
No, but
he's a prick.
You know, do you know what it is?
He really is a prick. He is a prick. Right.
And you know what? When you go onto the international stage, you need someone who is a prick deep down. That's just how it goes.
We've got too many pricks.
But also, Ben White has got to be the best football player in the world who doesn't want to be a football player.
No, you know, you watch football. No,
doesn't watch it, doesn't like it. But yet he's like one of the best. He plays for the champions of England, and he doesn't even want to play.
But no, thank God he's not. He's not. I can't stand Ben White. After leaving in the Qatar World Cup,
he got done dirty in that World Cup though.
Didn't get done dirty.
He got done dirty.
The only reason anyone sided with him is because they didn't like Gareth Southgate. That was it.
Pretty much.
You know, it's him who leaves. You know, who gets called up to a World Cup squad and leaves. You know, it's just...
Well, Doku left his World Cup squad temporarily.
Yes, Doku had a child.
Did you not see there was the other guy, I don't know what his name is, but he also had a child.
And he watched
and he watched on FaceTime.
Norway. Yeah, he sparked
like a whole international debate on all like major broadcast media about whether it was the right thing to do to leave to go watch the birth of his first child. I think it is.
I think what the hell? You had that one woman complain about it, but realistically, because I was under the impression that, because I seen a thing saying that Jeremy Doku was going to leave and then not come back.
Just not come back, yeah.
And I thought, well, that's a bit, you know, you don't need to do that. That's a bit, you can criticise him for that. The geezer went home, witnessed the birth of his child, which is a very special moment. He missed one game. Right, he missed one game. He's back now. It's the biggest non-issue I think I've ever heard covered.
It was just weird. It was back in 2 days. It was just. You know what? It's just because there was no drama going on, which normally there is.
It's just because that one woman just said, "Oh, this is."
It's shameful. It's shameful.
This is shameful,
yeah.
And that was it. And then people had more of an opinion on what that woman said than the actual.
In the event itself, everyone would pick to go see the birth of their child. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you wouldn't get your missus pregnant 9 months for a World Cup.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't really, you don't plan to get called up in that case, you know.
Well, you are, yeah, you would.
No.
If you know your
missus is pregnant 6 months before a World Cup's gonna start, like surely you just
play a bit shit.
You just play crap in the season and just don't get selected.
No, just don't get your missus pregnant 9 months before World Cup. That's all.
For any professional footballers out there listening in, that's the advice from Matt. Don't do it 9 months before a World Cup.
Well, just don't. I mean, it's simple. But when you plan it, which I don't know if Jeremy Doku and Mr. Doku did, which is not a topic of conversation we are going to go into.
No, we won't.
You plan it. You don't plan it 9 months. You think, well, what's in 9 months?
Yeah, World Cup.
Oh, well, World Cup. Do you know what, darling? We'll wait till next month.
It's kind of like a golfer planning like 9 months ahead for the Masters and be like, sorry, I can't attend day one of the Masters because I've got a child on the way.
Nah, golf's an individual sport. They're all bastards, golfers. They'll play golf. Sorry, honey, I'm sure you understand, but
understand. Golf is life.
I'm off to hit a round of 69. I'm going to be 3 under at the Masters. It's going to be great.
All right, okay. Well, let's get this back on track because there's 2 other games I want.
You and your child.
Well,
child compared to the Masters.
Jesus Christ.
You ever played Augusta, John Luke? Right?
We're not
you ever played at Augusta?
We're not a golf podcast, and we never will be. We're going to bring this back to the good old sport of football.
So the US Open last week. What do you reckon about?
What's the US Open last
Wyndham
week?
Clark won it, and he was booed by the American fans, despite being an American. What did you make of that, John Luke?
I don't know shit about the US Open, and I'm not going to pretend that I do, because who watches that? I don't
know.
So let's get back to the sport that we actually know something about, right? You might know something about golf. I sure as I don't, even though I play.
Okay.
All right, so 2 other games I want to mention. Norway versus Senegal. Firstly, the game was unreal. But the more important bit, the game was nuts, but the row celebration is way more amazing, right? Norway getting a 3-2 win over Senegal, probably cementing themselves as one of, if not the dark horse. I mean, just how unbelievably powerful is the Odegaard-Haaland link-up. I mean, you got to have some strong views on this, surely.
Well, I have very strong views on Martin Odegaard. We had a conversation about this a couple of weeks ago.
That he is the greatest footballer alive.
You said that he was genuinely world class, and I said, I don't think you're completely mad. And I said something about Arteta suppressing his abilities. And I think that's completely true, because he controlled everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. Every counter-attack, he was on the ball. Every move was started by him. Realistically, he could have scored in the first half. But that ball through to Haaland, for Haaland's first.
It's unreal. It's unbelievably
He had a man
unreal.
on the left, easy pass. Man on the right, easy pass. He had Erling Haaland in between two centre-backs, and he's weighted it perfectly. He's timed it perfectly. The direction of this ball was perfect. For Haaland to hit it first time, he's going to score. It's Erling Haaland. Odegaard needs to leave Arsenal. And
no, see, I'm telling you, I've been saying this for ages, and there's so many Arsenal fans who do not agree. But when Odegaard is in flow state, he is the greatest midfielder ever. Like, hands down, nothing. He's playing Messi-esque passes. He is unreal. He's like the plays he makes is he dictates the game. If you have a prime Odegaard in form, in flow state, the wonder balls you're getting through to your attack that you're collecting from defense, the transition is unreal. Like, there's no stopping it. It's literally, you can't do it. And I mean, as you can see against Senegal, they couldn't do anything. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I've heard a rumor that apparently he's up for sale from Arsenal. People are trying to say that he's going to be sold for 65 million. I think if you're going to sell him, you've got to sell him for 300 million. Depending on how far Norway go, he might be one of the best midfielders in the world, valued wise, by the end of this tournament. But genuinely, it was just unreal. I mean, the ball through to Haaland, like you said, it's just magic. It is just unreal. You don't get better than that. You really don't. There's no thing. But the thing is, have you the one thing though? The celebration, the row celebration. Have you seen that it's just like overtaken like everything outside of the tournament? Like, people are doing it they were doing it at like a baseball game. They were doing it in like Times Square in New York. It's unreal. Like, just like one guy just like smacking a drum and everyone's just screaming row and rowing. Like, it's so good.
It's unreal unless you are that one guy in that video I seen who mistimed his row. Yeah. And went a bit early. And while everyone else was in sync, in time, this man had his head in his hands because he went on his own.
Yeah, it was just poor.
It's probably the funniest clip I have seen from this World Cup.
It's quite impressive to mistime it. It's quite impressive to mistime a row when you're with that many people and screaming row in unison. Come on, man! Like, you've got to do better than that. It's just tragic. It's genuinely just tragic.
Yeah, but it's always great. It's like the Icelandic, that we've seen a couple of years ago. It's that sort of thing that will grip. It's impressive.
It's because, do you know what it is? It's also because it's easy, so everyone can do it. So it's just one of those things that the crowd can get. I think that's key for a celebration these days. You've got to make sure the crowd can get involved with it, and then it will just take off.
Yeah, and especially in a country like America.
Yeah, they love that shit.
They love that kind of thing.
They love that stuff. That will be the row thing will be there for forever.
They'll incorporate it into something, and
all the other sports will have it now.
Give it 10 years, they'll claim it as their own.
100%. But I mean, it's a vibe, so you know what? They can have that one for free from Europe.
They can have that one.
But okay, do you think that Norway are the only dark horse in this tournament so far?
No, I think Turkey.
Well, Turkey are out, so that's a great call from us in the first episode. But genuinely, they were dog shit.
It's a great call from you. I said never again.
Yeah, and I said no, this is the year, and look how wrong I was. It's good. It's good that I'm not a betting man. See, because
Norway, Norway. Norway, to completely ruin continuity of when this podcast is being made, Norway lost today against France by changing 10 of their starters.
Yeah, I don't know why.
But they actually played really well. They had a penalty they missed. Oscar Bob had a chance. That could have been 3-3. And this is without Haaland, Odegaard, Nusa, Berger. They looked very good. So they are my dark horses because they've clearly got depth. Apart from them, is there any other dark horse? Mexico have played so poorly throughout this whole tournament that it wouldn't surprise me if they just got far.
Yeah. I mean, what about America? I'm calling America as my dark horse, personally.
Well, America, yes, but they did lose.
They did lose, yeah, but...
And I think they would lose against a decent nation. I think they would lose.
I don't know. There's something about the way they play, like especially when I was watching them against Australia, which we'll get onto in a minute. But there's some, I don't know. I think against any nation that's not designed for that sort of like attack, they can get through. And I also think they are just getting a little bit lucky. So I honestly I see them going. I see them beating at least one top nation in this tournament. Probably us, but
yeah.
It's just one. I don't know. I can just see it happening.
Yeah. Apart from Norway, I don't see any other dark horses. I mean, potentially. I mean, Colombia are going to always be difficult to play against.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't. I'm probably looking at it from the point of view of I wouldn't want to play these nations. So Colombia, I wouldn't really want to play.
No.
I wouldn't want to play Senegal, despite they're not, only winning one game. But I think they probably...
It was the hardest group in the entire tournament.
They lost to France and Norway, and then thrashed Iraq. I don't think they're as bad as that group suggests. Apart from that, I think Japan are too fancy to be a dark horse.
Yeah, and they got Brazil anyway. So.
I think a team like to be honest, I think the Ivory Coast, Ecuador, that group of Curacao and Germany, I've been impressed with both Ivory Coast and Ecuador. Ecuador beating Germany. I mean,
Ecuador up until they beat Germany were dog shit. This is my thing: is they didn't play well against anyone else.
I think they actually did play quite well against Ivory Coast. I think they are let down by the fact that they have a 36-year-old Enner Valencia up top. Apart from that, I do think they are. I think a lot of these teams, now that the pressure of getting through is over,
it's off. And then they can just relax a little bit.
And that was their main prerogative. I think they can actually kick on, and I think a lot of these teams probably will. Apart from that, I think that's probably it for the dark horses. I can't see,
fair enough.
I can't see. I think a lot of other teams have shown all they have to show. I think America has shown all they have to show. And I think Canada and Mexico have shown the world. But I think a lot of these teams, like Ecuador, haven't shown enough. But they have so much more to give.
I don't know. I don't see them doing anything. Is my point. I think I know they've played well, and everyone has really played fairly well at this tournament, except for a couple of nations who have just done very poorly. But I just don't see them doing anything. I really can't. I can't even envision it. It's just not remotely within the scope of things I consider possible. I don't know. But I mean, look, we won't have to wait too long to see all the groups end, with basically the entire weekend left to go until the knockouts begin on Monday. So that's when it's all going to get really serious. I'm very ready for it. One more game I want to talk about, though, which I did mention briefly earlier, was USA vs Australia. With Australia getting completely battered 2-0. I mean, it made America look really good, I think. Granted, then they lost their last match, which was just a whole, at that point they've qualified, they don't care. And they'd already won the group as well, so there was no reason for them to even play the game. But, I mean, with them beating Australia, it was only the second time America's actually won 2 games in a row at World Cup finals. And Patrick Beach really couldn't do anything, to be honest, to stop them. I raved about Patrick Beach on a previous episode, and genuinely he did nothing. But in exchange for him doing rubbish, we got Cabo Verde and Curaçao's goalkeepers both becoming prime Neuer. So I think we'll just take it, and I can take all my hopes and dreams that were pinned on Australia doing amazing, put them all on Cabo Verde, and then, because I'm a horrific person at betting, probably watch Cabo Verde get absolutely battered in their next game. So it's going to be a whole thing. I mean, yeah, Australia. I mean, I do think America looked good though. I do think so. I mean, and they haven't even been playing Pulisic like the entire 90 minutes either. Florian Balogun, the ex-Arsenal. Yeah. It's got to be spoken about. I mean, he's scoring goals. He's doing well.
Well, he's playing well, and it's not just his goals, it's the overall play. And I think that's a big part of, especially when you are missing Pulisic. You've got, Pepe is not anywhere near a replacement for him. But
no, not even close.
Done well, America. I don't see it against a top nation.
I mean, we'll find out sooner or later, because I mean I think they're a round of 32s against Bosnia, I believe. But then going past that, it will be interesting to see who they get. Because I think those fixtures aren't actually decided yet remotely. But no, it's gonna be interesting. But that is all we've got time for. Thanks, Matt, for being on the show. It's been a blast. Some good.
It's been wonderful to be back.
Some good insights. We're always happy to have you back. The agents have worked out their drama. Remember that all the third round group stages are happening simultaneously. So we've only got a couple left, so we've got to figure out which ones we want to watch. I mean, we're watching Cabo Verde later, so that's going to be good. And we'll all be back on Sunday to sum up the group stages and make our bold predictions for the knockout rounds. But thank you very much for listening, and good night.